Hey everybody, welcome back to DrumTipTV. Today we're going to do more of an informative video for you, and we're going to talk about how to properly change a drum head and then tune it when you're finished. Now I know that there's a lot of videos, there's a ton of videos out there on how to do this, and I'm just going to give you my perspective and what I like to do with my drums and also what I pass down to my students, and I think that, you know, it's just good information to have. So a couple things you're going to need before you change your drum head, all right? Now these might be basic, but we got to go over them because you never know, you might leave something out of there. First thing is you want to have drum head, okay? Drum head, very important. I've got my drum head, I've got my Windex and my paper towels, and you know, there's all types of different cleaners out there that you can use. Some people like to use microfiber cloths. That's fine. I have some of that stuff myself at my home studio, but most people, these are the products that they'll have in their home that they can use. Windex, paper towels. Try to pick like a softer paper towel. I like to use Viva paper towels, the softer ones, as opposed to something more gritty. But you've got this stuff, and then finally, I've got 2 drum keys, okay? And as I go through this process, I'll explain why I like to use 2 keys. So the very first thing we're gonna do, and you need to have your drumsticks as well. When you're finished, check your tuning. Very first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna start off by taking off the tension rods, okay? And one reason why I like to use these types of keys is there's a couple of them out there, but this has a little part on top where you can just spin around and you don't have to sit there for days spinning the wings of the drum key around. So I'm just going to take this off right here, spin this guy around, and I'm actually going to take the tension rod out of the rim. Some people like to keep them in, but I like to take them out. So, and now I'm just going to go around here with 2 keys, just kind of detune. Whew, that's done. Okay, now if you noticed over here, I just put all of my tension rods in one safe spot, okay? Seems like a simple concept, but you know, if you just take them off and if you just kind of put them down on the ground, a lot of times the washers on the tension rods can fall off, get misplaced and everything, so I just like to keep them all in one safe spot. So I've taken off the tension rods. Now what I'm going to do is just remove the rim, the hoop from the drum, and we're going to take off the head. One thing I like to do when I take the head off is I like to try to be careful when I lift it off, because a lot of times down here, just from playing, you've accumulated like a lot of wood chips and things like that, and I just don't want them to all fall into the drum. All right, so I'm going to put the head aside. So from this point right here, what we're going to do is usually, if I have time to do this, I'll do it every time I'll change the head. If I don't have time, I'll just do it every other time or every third time. But on the inside of the drum, you've got all these different screws that attach the lugs to the drum. And what I like to do is just to take a Phillips head and just go around and not make these too tight, but because you don't want to choke the drum. But I just like to make sure these are all safely secure, because you don't want to put your new drum head back on, go to your gig, go to your recording session, whatever, and then you find you have a rattling screw on the inside. So just go around, make sure they're all safe and sound. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take my paper towels, get a little bit of Windex on here, go down to my hoop, and just go around here and just kind of shine this up a little bit. I'm going to do the outside first. And then also, I'm going to do the inside as well, because sometimes in here, in those little grooves, especially with a triple flange tube like this one, then you've got just a little bit of dirt in there and stuff, and you want to get that out. And I'm going through this kind of quickly for the sake of the video as well. Sometimes I would just put a little bit more time into this. And then we're going to take our new drum head. Okay, just for today, I'm going to be using a 2-ply head. Maybe sometime we'll discuss the difference of head types and everything, but this is going to be a 2-ply head. First thing I'm going to do, I am pretty particular about this, and I know a lot of other drummers are too. I want to put my logo at the top, matching up with the logo of the drum. Okay, so centering my logo with the drum right there. Okay. If you'd like to, when you go around here as well, sometimes dirt and wood chips get stuck in these little parts right on the inside, and you can obviously get those out if you'd like to. And then I'm going to take my hoop. Now on your drum set, your drum hoop might have a logo on the rim. This one does not, but if you do have a logo on your rim, you want to try to do the same thing. You want to center that with the logo of the drum and the logo of the head. So I'm just going to put this back on. And what I want to do here is I want to just make sure that the drum head is seated evenly on here with the hoop, and that, you know, one side isn't up higher than the other. Most drum head companies these days are really good about you know, having their head seat pretty evenly. So you're going to get that straight right there. And then we're going to start the process of putting all these bad boys back in. All right. Now, a little thing I like to do myself is with the logo of the drum head, I like to start at the top left. Okay. So we're going top left. And noticing what I'm doing here is I'm just getting this to the point of where it's only just finger tight. I'm not going any more, just tightening to the point of where I can't really go too much anymore without using any force. Then I'm going to go across down here, down to the one directly across from where I started. And the reason why I like to start up here at the top left is because I always remember then where I began for both putting these in, but also then when I'm tuning as well. Then I'm going to do the same thing here that I would do if I was tuning the drum. I'm going to skip a lug. I'm going to skip this one right here, and then I'm going to come down here and just go on the side. This one in. Again, we're just getting it to the point of where it's only finger tight. And then finally, I'm going to skip one more, and I'm going to drop down to right here. Okay, now we're just going to fill in the gaps. We're going to go back here and do the ones that we skipped. Beautiful. Okay, now one thing you may wonder to yourself, why am I only getting those finger tight? Why am I not going any more than that? And the reason is because your drum is going to be way easier for you to tune if you've got a good even bass starting point. Okay, so if I know that all of these are just pretty much finger tight, now when I go to tune the drum with the drum keys, that if I just do even amounts of turn every time I go around, I don't have to battle myself later on having one side of the drum being a lot higher than the other one, too loose, whatever. So remember how earlier I talked about starting up at the left of the top left of the label, the logo? I'm going to put one key here, and I'm going to go directly across from it. I'm going to use this one right here. 2 drum keys. Now, if you only have 1 drum key, not a big deal. You can still tune your drum just fine. I like to use 2 keys because what I want to do is I'm going to take that head and I want to stretch it evenly as I'm doing the tuning process. I don't want to do one side and have it be pulled this way and then do the other side and then have it yank back in the other direction. If I stretch it evenly, I'm going to get a better overall tune. So what I'm going to do here is watch. I just kind of go a little bit up to where I feel it start to catch again, right? And I'm going to do 2 full turns of my wrist, rotations. 1, 2, just 2. Now, starting up here at the top of the logo, the left of the logo, I'm going to skip a lug, go down here, make sure this is just catching here, go directly across from it, and then 2 full rotations there. 1, 2, at the same time. Skip a lug, go down here, just get it to where it catches a little bit, and that's just a feel thing. You know, I'm just feeling, making sure I'm getting to that point. Do 2 full rotations, 1, 2. Now we go back up to where we started, but we want to do the skipped one. This was the skipped one right here. Go right across. See that, and as I'm tuning, these kind of become loose again a little bit. So I want to just get that back to that point of where it feels right, and then 1, 2. And last but not least, we'll skip this guy. Come down here. And we did 2 there. Now, the drum's not in tune per se, but what we'll do is I'm going to take the snare wires off just so you can hear this, but you're going to hear how we have a nice starting point. They're all pretty even. So if we go around, you know, like 1 or 2 a little bit higher, but like we have a good base point to start from. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find in here the pitch of the drum. And this is the important part. The pitch of the drum that I want my snare drum to be at, okay? And I'm going to try to get that pitch to be at the top left of the logo, excuse me, because then I can tune to that lug. If I don't do that process, if I just start going every which way, again, I'm going to battle myself because I'm going to say, okay, well, which pitch was that? It's over here. Now, no, it's over here. So going up here to the top, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one or 2 fingers, right? I'm just going to gently set it on the middle of the head. Watch what that does for me. If I hit this right here without my finger right there, drum rings for a while. 1 or 2 fingers in the middle. I'm not pressing, I'm just putting my finger right there. So that's going to be pretty low for a snare. So I'm going to bring this up 2 rotations again. And now we're going to go across and we're going to do the same thing down here. So 1, 2. Maybe just bring this up a little tiny bit. Now we're going to bring this up a little bit, and then we'll probably do the final round at the end. So I'm just going to go around here. Okay, so this one's actually the one that's beside it is a little bit higher. So I'm going to back this down a little bit for right now, and then just do the same thing the whole way around the drum. So this one right here is a little bit higher, and this is what you do. You just bring this up a little bit. Bring these 2 up a little bit, and notice, everybody out there, this is just, it's a feel thing. So when I make these little adjustments, it's tiny little increments that I use. It's not big broad motions, because all I'm doing is just trying to dial it in, basically. Just keep going around. So down here, hear that? That's okay. Then here, that's a little flat, kind of. So I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. Hear the stretching of the head. These over here got a little bit higher in the process, so I'm going to back them down. Still a little bit high. Hear that pitch difference? It's minor, but it's enough. Okay, so then I'm just going to put my snare wires on and see where I'm at. Okay, not bad, but like for most of us, we want our snare to be a little bit snappier. So now, since I have a good tuning range right there, I'm just going to go back here again, do one more turn, okay? There, skip, here, skip, here, then where I started right here, I'm going to skip, go to the one I skipped rather, skip. Now let's see where we're at. That's without the snare wires. That's like a good medium tuning range right there, and then you can go up, or you can go up from there if you'd like to, depending upon the sound you're going for. So just one last thing, if you want to, if I get to this point, if I said yes, that's where I want the drum to be, that's the feel that I like, that's the sound I'm looking for, then what I would do just one more time is I would go around and just kind of fidget with that a little bit and make sure that they were all in tune with each other. Well, one last thing I'll say about tuning is these days there's a lot of different tuning mechanisms out there. We have things like the TuneBot and other things that can kind of do it from more of a scientific perspective. When I was young, I just learned to do this all by hand and just with touch and feel in my ears. And I think if you spend some time with your drums, not only do you learn that art of tuning, but you also form a relationship with your drums as well. Just to give you an example, some drums have like a certain range where they like to be tuned to, and you don't really know what that range is unless you spend some time with it, versus just putting something mechanical on there and saying, okay, I'm tuning this to a B or whatever. So spend some time with your drums. I think that pretty much covers it. If you have any questions, any comments, don't forget to leave them down below, and we'll see you next time. I hope this video helped you.